Cafeteria law. The item you had your eye on the minute you walked in will be taken by the person in front of you. Kahn's axiom, Allen's axiom. When all else fails, read the instructions. Calkin's law of menu. Language. The number of adjectives and verbs that are added to the description of a menu item is in inverse proportion to the quality of the resulting dish. Campbell's law. The more any quantitative social indicator is used for social decision-making, the more subject it will be to corruption pressures, and the more apt it will be to distort and corrupt the social processes it is intended to monitor. Campbell's law. Nature abhors a vacuous experimenter. Campbell's first law of automotive repair. If you can get to the faulty part, you don't have the tool to get it off. Campbell's second law of automotive repair. If you can get the part off, the parts house will have it back ordered. Campbell's third law of automotive repair. If it's in stock, it didn't need replacing in the first place. Camp's law. A coup that is known in advance is a coup that does not take place. Canada. Bill Jones's motto, it's morally wrong to allow suckers to keep their money. Canada. Bill Jones's supplement, a Smith & Wesson beats 4 aces. Canada Bill's motto, a Smith & Wesson beats 4 aces. Cannon's cogent comment, the leak in the roof is never in the same location as the drip. Cannon's comment, if you tell the boss you were late for work because you had a flat tire, the next morning you will have a flat tire. Cann's axiom, when all else fails, read the instructions. Captain Penny's law, you can fool all of the people some of the time, and some of the people all of the time, but you can't fool a mom. Cardinal conundrum, an optimist believes we live in the best of all possible worlds. A pessimist fears this is true. Carlson's consolation, nothing is ever a complete failure. It can always serve as a bad example. Carlson's law, all interrupted work will be less effective and will take more time than if it was completed in a continuous manner. Carpenter's law, if you have only one nail, it will bend. Carson's law, it's better to be rich and healthy than poor and sick. Kavanaugh's postulate, all cookies are not in a jar. Keogh's law, the only things that start on time are those that you're late for. Chapman's commentary on Paul's law, it takes children 3 years to learn Paul's law. Chase's rule for success, trust only those who stand to lose as much as you when things go wrong. Checkbook balancer's law, in matters of dispute, the bank's balance is always smaller than yours. Chit's lament, if you help a friend in need, he is sure to remember you the next time he's in need. Cheop's law, nothing ever gets built on schedule or within budget. Chesterton's observation, I have seen the truth and it makes no sense. Chili cook's secret, if your next pot of chili tastes better, it probably is because of something left out rather than added. Chisholm's commentary, anytime things appear to be going better, you have overlooked something. Chisholm's law, when things just can't get any worse, they will. Chisholm's first corollary, if you do something that you are sure will meet with everybody's approval, somebody won't like it. Chisholm's second corollary, if you explain so clearly that nobody can misunderstand, somebody will. Chisholm's second law, when things are going well, something will go wrong. Churchill's commentary on man. Man will occasionally stumble over the truth, but most of the time he will pick himself up and continue on as though nothing has happened. Ciardi's poetry law. Whenever in time and wherever in the universe, any man speaks or writes in any detail about the technical management of a poem, the resulting irascibility of the reader's response is a constant. Clarke's law of revolutionary ideas. Every revolutionary idea in science, politics, art, or whatever evokes 3 stages of reaction. They may be summed up by the 3 phrases. 1. It is completely impossible. Don't waste my time. 2. It is possible, but it is not worth doing. 3. I said it was a good idea all along. Clarke's first law. When a distinguished but elderly scientist states that something is possible, he is almost certainly right. When he states that something is impossible, he is very probably wrong. Corollary, Asimov. When the lay public rallies round an idea that is denounced by distinguished but elderly scientists and supports that idea with great fervor and emotion, the distinguished but elderly scientists are then, after all, right. Clarke's second law. The only way of discovering the limits of the possible is to venture a little way past them into the impossible. Clarke's third law. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Clarke's first law of relativity. No matter how often you trade dinner or other invitations with in-laws, you will lose a small fortune in the exchange. Corollary. Don't try it. You cannot drink enough of your in-laws' booze to get even before your liver fails. Clarke's law. It's always darkest just before the lights go out. Cleveland's highway law. Highways in the worst need of repair naturally have low traffic counts, which results in low priority for repair work. Clive's rebuttal to Walker's law. If it's clean, it isn't laundry. Clopton's law. For every credibility gap, there is a gullibility fill. Clyde's law. If you have something to do and you put it off long enough, chances are someone else will do it for you. Cochrane's aphorism. Before ordering a test, decide what you will do if it is 1, positive, or 2, negative. If both answers are the same, don't take the test. Cohen's law. What really matters is the name you succeed in imposing on the facts, not the facts themselves. Cohen's law. The more time you spend in reporting on what you are doing, the less time you have to do anything. Stability is achieved when you spend all your time doing nothing but reporting on the nothing you are doing. Cole's axiom. The sum of the intelligence on the planet is constant. The population is growing. Cole's law, thinly sliced cabbage. Collins' conference principle. The speaker with the most monotonous voice speaks after the big meal. Coulson's law. If you've got them by the balls, their hearts and minds will follow. Cummins's law. People will accept your idea much more readily if you tell them Benjamin Franklin said it first. Commoner's 3 laws of ecology. 1. No action is without side effects. 2. Nothing ever goes away. 3. There is no free lunch. Compensation. Corollary. The experiment may be considered a success if no more than 50% of the observed measurements must be discarded to obtain a correspondence with theory. Computer programmers lament. Program complexity grows until it exceeds the capability of the programmer who must maintain it. Connolly's law of cost control. The price of any product produced for a government agency will be not less than the square of the initial firm fixed price contract. Connolly's rule. For political incumbents, short-term success with voters on any side of a given issue can be guaranteed by creating a long-term special study commission made up of at least 3 divergent interest groups. Conrad's conundrum, Stenson's law, technology don't transfer. Considine's law. Whenever one word or letter can change the entire meaning of a sentence, the probability of an error being made will be in direct proportion to the embarrassment it will cause. Consultation law. The job that pays the most will be offered when there is no time to deliver the services. Conway's law. In any organization, there will always be one person who knows what is going on. Eventually, this person will be fired. Conway's law asterisk 1. If you assign N persons to write a compiler, you'll get a N1 pass compiler. Conway's law asterisk 2. In every organization, there will always be one person who knows what is going on. This person must be fired. Cook's law. In any decisive situation, the amount of relevant information available is inversely proportional to the importance of the decision. Cook's law. Much work, much food. Little work, little food. No work, burial at sea. Cook's Laws of Travel 1. When packing for a vacation, take half as much clothing and twice as much money. 2. Nothing can be done in one trip. 3. If you have the time, you won't have the money. If you have the money, you won't have the time. Coolidge's immutable observation. When more and more people are thrown out of work, unemployment results. Cooper's Law. All machines are amplifiers. Cooper's Meta Law. A proliferation of new laws creates a proliferation of new loopholes. Cornwell's Law. Authority tends to assign jobs to those least able to do them. Corey's Law. Paper is always strongest at the perforations. Cosmetologist's Principle. Whenever you need to stop at a light to put on makeup, every light will be green. Courtois' Rule. If people listened to themselves more often, they'd talk less. Crane's Law. Friedman's reiteration. There ain't no such thing as a free lunch. Tanstaffel. Crane's Rule. There are 3 ways to get something done. Do it yourself, hire someone, or forbid your kids to do it. Cripp's Law. When traveling with children on one's holidays, at least one child of any number of children will request a restroom stop exactly halfway between any 2 given rest areas. Cropp's Law. The amount of work done varies inversely with the amount of time spent in the office. Colshaw's first principle of recorded sound. Anything, no matter how bad, will sound good if played back at a very high level for a short time. Cunningham's Law. The best way to get the right answer on the internet is not to ask a question, but to post the wrong answer. Cutler-Webster's Law. There are 2 sides to every argument unless a man is personally involved, in which case there is only one. Chachinsky's conclusion. There is only one thing worse than dreaming you are at a conference and waking to find that you are at a conference. And that is the conference where you can't fall asleep.